What's going on there, folks? I hope you ladies and germs don't mind if I indulge for a little bit. Today is Friday. Ooh, I don't want to get a copyright strike for this thing. I hate that stuff. When YouTube starts by itself, it's like, Jesus. We are still having problems with the damn pollen being just relentless, man. I got to really tear this apartment apart and really start cleaning this place. I hope you're all having a wonderful evening. What's going on, Diana? How are you? By the way, folks, if you like what you see, you enjoy the live stream, you want to have a little fun tonight, do me a huge favor, shameless e-beg to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, always hit that thumbs up button. It helps the channel to grow immensely. Thank you so much to everybody that has done so. Thank you to my eBay customers. Thank you to my friends, family, neighbors, everybody across the board. If you want to help the channel financially, check out my eBay store, the Carolina Collector 001. The link is in the description box below. And if you want to make a small one-time donation to the channel, click on the coffee link. I really appreciate that. I do have a couple updates about my latest eBay sales, especially when it comes to the kids, which shockingly were not out today. Well, I shouldn't say shockingly, but there was a pretty good reason why the kids weren't outside today, because there was a little bit of an issue on the property here that I let the higher ups know. But before I really get into that, I mean, it was nothing bad. It was just a very sad thing to see. But before I get into that, I hope you folks don't mind if I have a beer. It is Friday. And I think I'm allowed to indulge just a little bit. I just got off the phone with my baby sister in New York to talk about some things, which I'm not going to get into because I just want to wind down for the rest of the night and enjoy this wonderful Friday. I got the front door open right there. Thanks to my most recent eBay sales, ladies and gentlemen, and because of all of you that continue to support the channel, whether it's through my coffee link or it's through my eBay sales, I bought a big thing of sanitizer for the kids outside, because I bought one of those big Walmart fruit trays. As a matter of fact, again, I want to make sure, because there are people out there that when they, especially with this whole Jeremy Hambley Keno Casino thing that's going on, I just want everybody to know that when I say I do something, I do something. So I bought one of these big trays of fruits yesterday for the kids. I bought another one today. I mean, it's nice and frosty, so when I pull this out, it should be really fresh tomorrow. But I bought one of these fruit trays, and I bought like these little foam bowls for the kids to split these up. I got, surgical gloves up there, but they're so smart. They're so smart, these kids, that they actually said we need to wash our hands. So just in case, I bought a big thing of sanitizer for them. So, when I set up shop out there and I bring them stuff like this, which they ate like, oh my God, they were like little mice to cheese. When they saw this, they went crazy. And I've been promising them I was going to buy a fruit tray or two, and it saves me time. It's a little pricey to buy it like this, but for me, it's just so much easier that I can just pull them out and put them into little bowls and hand it to them, and then they can eat all they want. This hasn't been touched yet. That's a big box of Doritos I still got for the kids. Again, this was supposed to be for today, but like I said, they weren't outside today, and it was for good reason. My friend that lives on the other side of the property sent me a text message almost immediately, because there was somebody somebody sleeping on top of the barbecue table there. And turns out it was a young man, very, very young man, probably in his late teens to early 20s. Either he probably ran away from home or got kicked out for whatever reason because he had a blanket and everything. And as I was walking to drop off, my eBay orders at the post office, now that they got the drum replaced and fixed, I can go there any time of the day and night now, and I can put the mail directly in the pull down drum. Man, it took a year for them to finally do that. But she sent me a text message, and I went over there and I look, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a young kid, just some random person I've never seen. So there's like a big unspoken rule that you don't bother the staff that live here because they already have enough going on throughout the day that once they go home for the day, they don't want to be bothered. So some of the staff lives here. So it's kind of like an unwritten rule that you don't bother them. But I felt compelled to at least talk to the maintenance guy and the assistant manager here. She didn't answer, but he did. But I said, to hell with that. Let me call the police just in case. And I had a talk with Pineville PD downstairs and basically said he doesn't look like he's he doesn't look like he's a danger. He doesn't look like he has any weapons. He's either a runaway or he probably got kicked out of his home. He's a very young man. He's got to be at least in his late teens, early 20s. And the officer, to all his credit, stood with that man and called this person's parents to come and pick him up. Good job, Pineville PD. God bless them guys, that they did the right thing to make sure that this kid got home safe. And that's probably why the kids weren't playing today, and rightfully so, because I never seen this kid before. Clearly, he doesn't live on the property because, whoever it was that picked him up, scooped them up, and out they went. So, well, there'll be plenty of fruits and potato chips for the kids tomorrow. You know what I mean? But at least, we saved the kid's life. I have to look at it like that because that was a young kid. I mean, I have no problem with corporal punishment and discipline when it comes to young people, but don't put your fucking kid out in the street. And don't drive a kid to want to leave home and sleep where everybody can see him. When I saw that, and I got the videos that my friend sent me, she texted me videos of him. I can't speak for the maintenance guy or the assistant manager because again, it's kind of like an unwritten rule that you don't bother them here on the property, which they're correct. They work here, but they don't have to be 24/7. You know what I mean? And I don't like being Batman anymore. I hate doing that Batman thing. But I felt something was way off and called the police myself. My friend sent me little clips of him. She was worried, and that's probably why the kids weren't outside today. So, but like I said, I bought the kids a big thing of hand sanitizer, and this is for me too, because if I'm handling food, especially like this that's sealed, I want to make sure that I can take it and have clean hands. I've got surgical gloves back there just in case. I got that big box of chips. I also bought 2 things of bug spray because it's mosquito season, so the mosquitoes are coming out. And I'm type O positive, so they love my blood. And what's funny is even when I wear blue jeans outside, they manage somehow to come up underneath the leg cuff and bite me. So, but that's more for them than anything else, just in case. So, but again, these kids are very smart. They're like, we want fruits, we want fruits, we want fruits. And man, they ate up that one tray I bought yesterday. But it's a shame that, I bought this tray today so that this way they can have it. But again, nobody knew who this young fella was. And our neighbors, we all know each other. We've kind of got very close that way that we know each other. And it's a shame, unfortunately, that there are parents that are out there that really have no regard for their fucking children. So, and it most, I didn't really ask the officer or anything like that because once the kid was picked up by whoever it was that he was picked up by, the officer got in his car and left, and I don't think he's at liberty to discuss private matters like that. But to me, he was either a runaway or got kicked out of his home because the kid literally had a fucking blanket. I've got 2 videos that my friend sent to me. Some of you fucking parents, man, your egos are the problem. Believe me, I know. I'm a victim of that myself, especially when you have a 50-year-old ex-fiance who chooses to live with mommy and daddy because her parents can't read and write English. They were willing to destroy my family because of that. And over the past couple of days, I've been talking about fucking false narratives about myself, which brings me to my next little discussion I want to have here, which I just got off the phone talking to my baby sister in New York. So, what did I just do with them? I just showed her on camera what I was doing. Oh, so I've been experimenting because there's some things that I need to do. I'm not going to worry about it today or tomorrow or even Sunday. I'm going to wait until Monday, the weekdays start. I've actually been experimenting with making my own letterheads for, business reasons and personal reasons and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it looks amateurish, but I mean, I did experiment a little bit. It's just my printer has been printing really wonky these days. Some of them came out good, some of them came out okay, but I mean, you really have to be really just overly anal to really care about such a thing. So I started my own letterhead on nice paper stock, very similar to the paper stock that's used with diplomas and certificates and all that kind of thing. And I am going to be utilizing that sooner than later, which is cool. I never thought I'd reach a point where I would have my own letterhead as a business owner. You know what I mean? So because Monday I'm going to have to do something that is a necessity, because of what I've already discussed on camera, and I really don't want to hyper focus on this bullshit. It is Friday. The Mets suck. One of my buddies is watching. Oh, by the way, to my mystery friend that just sent me that message. Yeah, when you called me, I was sleeping. By the way, before all that drama happened that I was just talking about. So sorry if I didn't answer the phone. We shall talk at another time. So my mystery friend just sent me a message via WhatsApp. So he's watching this now. But yeah, so now I got my own letterheads, at least the very first batch of them. Sounds like a personal problem. Everything is a personal problem. Especially in the morning when I wake up, sometimes when I aim, it kind of leans to the right a little bit. As men, it happens sometimes. It's like a hunter trying to off Bugs Bunny. Sometimes you just might aim a little to the right or the left. You have to adjust for the wind, and perhaps I've gone just a little too far. But anyway, folks, yeah, I'm going to try not to make this a serious live stream because some of the stuff I've been talking about has been very serious, very dour, especially with this most recent situation that I've been talking to people offline about. It's quite disgusting, to be honest with you. But when the time comes, like I said, I'll deal with that. But right now, this weekend, at least I know for the next 10 days to 2 weeks, oh, God, the smell of victory is incredible, isn't it? Maybe, you know what? I'm going to use my sanitizer for the first time. Let's see. Doesn't even smell that bad. See, that's why I bought this stuff. Because I don't want it to stink like medication, and I don't want it to be so strong that it's going to burn these kids' hands. Oh, that don't smell bad at all. This smells really good. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, I'm germ-free. Yeah, that doesn't stink at all. Jeez. It smells like my upper lip. That's funny. That is funny. Oh, what we got here? Wilbur Martinez. My birthday is today. Well, feliz cumpleaños. Happy birthday. Welcome aboard. Here's to you. Salud, pros, nostrovia. Cheers. Oh, man. But Otherwise, yeah, man. I mean, today wasn't all that bad. I did everything I had to do, and then just all of a sudden, I had a little bit of burnout and planted my face in the pillow. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. They've been teasing rain for the past couple days, but the Carolinas here, unfortunately, are still in a drought. But now Charlotte, unfortunately, now is starting to approach the point where, the drought's getting a little bit more than what the city itself can handle. So I got a feeling there are going to be restrictions put in place now. Ooh, pardon me. But, I'm not going to worry about that. I made sure that with the most recent, the most recent things, the most recent sales and stuff that I have in my eBay store you fucker, bottom of the eighth. What? Wait, hold on. Oh, I'm live streaming through the TV. Yeah, keep me posted. You know who you are. Keep me posted. Unlike these guys, bro. So my mystery friend who's messaging me on WhatsApp, let me tell you, I have a good friend that works here on the property who's a diehard Mets fan, and I had a big talk with him the other day. Actually helped me up here with my groceries because, as you know, I'm trying not to drive my car. Hopefully next week, by this time next week, I should be looking for a new car, by the way. But we've all been teasing him because he's such a diehard Mets fan that every time we see him, I joke with him. It's like, we have a lot of sounds in the background at nighttime. I'm being distracted by the messages I'm getting here. We get hoot owls. Sometimes you hear birds. And then all of a sudden, behind that cool breeze, you hear, and you go fuck yourself. They're going to have to fire Mendoza. They got to fire Mendoza. Mendoza's fucked. Every other team is firing like Boston fired everybody. Philadelphia, Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball's now their head coach. And Donnie Baseball, I really have to say, I think is who helped Toronto make it to the World Series. But, it's just, I don't know what's going on this year. This year is such a fucking maddening year, even with the Yankees. My secret friend there that's been messaging me here on WhatsApp while I'm doing this live stream, like they just brought Jason Dominguez back, but yet they still have not promoted fucking George Lombard or Spencer Jones. Doesn't make sense. And now they're talking about bringing back Anthony Volpe if they haven't done that already. So, but anyway, welcome. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm probably only going to be on here for like an hour tonight. I want to wind it down and take it easy tonight and just lay back, but thank you everybody for participating in this live stream. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit that like button. Always hit that like button. I see 4 of you have done so already. Thank you very much. And check out my eBay store and my coffee link. Both links are in the description box below. I really, really appreciate the continued support, everybody. Now, we were just talking about the Mets and Yankees here. This is the brand new Piazza jersey that I wanted to review on the channel. I got so excited to pull this out. I've been watching baseball documentaries. I watched Tom Seaver documentary. I've watched Don Mattingly documentary. I've watched, they just released a new Derek Jeter documentary recently on YouTube. I'm watching a lot of baseball documentaries lately. A lot of it's fascinating. I watched stuff about Nolan Ryan and so I'm not going to say that because I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Sorry. I've been down that road. I've been down that road where people have tried to get me to say things and do things. And I just try not to do that. Because you don't know what these words mean. You don't know what they stand for. It could be a word that's in reverse. It could be a derogatory term. So no offense, my friend, but I must decline. God. So, but anyway, yeah, guys, I got to apologize because there's still so many reviews that I got to do. But with all of the distractions that have gone on behind the scenes, and many of you, I'm sure, didn't sign up to support this channel for drama. I didn't want this either, but unfortunately, and that's why, little spoiler alert, why I have this really nice paper stock with my business logo on there. That's the new letterhead for any type of legal paperwork. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to do what I have to do to do what needs to be done. And the reviews I wanted to do, like the AI video I just did recently, and a lot of it's the truth. I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. There was something I kind of left out of that particular video. I've elaborated on it a little bit in that recent video, but the problem is I didn't get into too much detail, is the fact that, it's not just people stealing IPs. It's the fact that, you can resurrect the dead now. You see holograms of Michael Jackson and Tupac, right? If you watch Star Wars, what is that? The fucking I'm brain farting. I'm not much of a Star Wars fan anymore, so forgive me if I'm what the fuck is it called now? Where they resurrected Grand Moff Tarkin and Princess Leia at the end of the movie. I mean, it's insane. Marvel does it too. Marvel does it. They put AI slop all over their face to de-age people. They did that with John Delancey in Star Trek Picard. Carrie Fisher, Grand Moff Tarkin, my secret friend just sent me that on WhatsApp. But what was the name of the movie? It was the In-Between with the creator of the Death Star plans. What the fuck was the name of that movie? See, I'm not a Star Wars fan like I used to be anymore. I don't give a shit. Star Wars is fake. Oh my God, I am brain farting here, folks. Usually I'm good with this type of stuff. But that doesn't matter. They're resurrecting people now. And I've been watching, Monumental, which is a great YouTube channel that's been bringing characters to life, like Pinhead, Darth Vader, Chucky, Freddy Krueger, Batman, like all these crazy fucking characters, right? And making them fight each other. But the problem is what this man doesn't, many content, and I'm not bashing him, he makes great stuff. The stuff he makes, like the most recent film that he released with Darth Vader versus Pinhead, I'm like, and I can't stand Star Wars, but I can't deny, because there's no fucking pronouns, no women with bull rings, and no none of that shit. No SJW, alphabet, who pronouns, guilty, white liberal. Rogue One, thank you, secret friend. You know who you are. We'll call you Mr. We'll call you the Yankee. The Yankees said Rogue One, so thank you, Mr. Yankee, since I'm a man of the South now. Damn Yankees. But anyway, Monumental makes great content. But what he doesn't admit to is that you are literally using IPs, intellectual property, to create something that essentially is not yours. It's not yours. Big example, I'm a former member of the 501st Legion. Unless you are a paid actor directly, unless your costume is so accurate and so up to standards that they need somebody, like I'm the only guy that I'm aware of, at least at that time, that was paid $500 per event, and I got paid for 2 of them years ago, to dress as Darth Vader at Uniqlo and Jelly Belly Jelly Beans. I got paid because my costume was that accurate. All right. But after that, you can't just take these characters and bring them to life and make them yours. That's not how it works. There are trademarks, trademark and licensing agreements you have to fucking fill out. You have to make legal agreements. There's liability. You know what I mean? The Yanks won. What was the score, if you don't mind me asking? I'm sorry, my friend Mr. Yankee is sending me updates about the game. 7-2. Thank you. But yeah, it just you can't use these intellect. That's why they call them IPs, intellectual property. There's trademarks. There's licensing. You know, Disney doesn't want their characters. Well, I mean, obviously now Disney has become more left leaning, so they want gay, it, what, who pronoun stormtroopers and all that bullshit, right? But you know, you can't just take something and make it your own. That's not how it works. And don't give me that free speech transformative bullshit. If people don't want you using their personal property, you can't. You can't. And that's where a lot of these content creators are losing their minds over this issue, because they have taken these characters and essentially made them their own. And that's where they're getting demonetized, because YouTube can get sued. Remember, YouTube has been acting as a publisher lately. That whole section 2, what was that, section 230 or whatever it's called? That's why YouTube is shutting this shit down. Because YouTube can get sued. And YouTube won't have it. You're going to see less and less and less of this content going away. The only people A's over the Mets at, oh jeez, yikes! They're firing employees because they're engaging in more and more technology, taking the human being of it out. That's why when you are that big and you have millions and millions of hours of YouTube videos being uploaded, you can't hire enough people. It would probably make YouTube go bankrupt and Google go bankrupt. Yeah, I'm sure they're making billions and billions. That was weird. I said the G word, and then all of a sudden the AI kicked on my phone. That was bizarre. That has never happened before. Uh-oh, they're watching. They're watching. You know, if I say, hey, the 2-syllable word, that thing actually, I can't believe that popped up in this live stream. Holy shit. Watch out. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Oh. But yeah, you can't just steal intellectual property. Make a person do this and make them say that, especially if the person died and you're uploading it right now in this moment of time. That's intellectual theft. It's true. And that's why all these content creators are having a hissy fit. Everything I do, I think I've explored the option of AI 2 or 3 times in the form of YouTube Shorts, and I find the whole thing to be just not my forte. I like being original. I like being on camera. You know, I don't script my videos. I fuck up. I gaff. Sometimes I'll stutter. I'll say the wrong thing. You know, I like to challenge people, who keep, nitpicking about me. I like for these same people, and this is going to be a legal defense should it come to it. Little spoiler alert for certain people out there. I want you to tell me what the experience was like when you came out of your mama's womb, and what it felt like to have your umbilical cord cut, and what it was like to take your first shit in a diaper when you were in a plastic bowl in the hospital. I want to know in full detail. I want to know how many tears you cried. Was the doctor black or white who cut the umbilical cord? Did anybody cut your umbilical cord? I want to know what it was like, the very experience of the very second. What was it like to take your first breath as a newborn baby? God damn it. You know what I mean? Like, people nitpick so fucking badly, it's ridiculous. I want to know what it was like the first time you came out of your mama's womb. Was it tight? Was it loose? Were you like two deflated balloons? You know what I mean? Bullshit. 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 But you know what it is that, YouTube and Google is getting so big that they cannot keep up with the amount of stuff that's going on out there as far as video uploads are concerned. They've had no choice but to use automated systems. But at the same time, you're taking characters and these stories and these movies, and you're trying to make them your own. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Well, have a good night. You know what? I'll give you a little shout out. Excuse me. What is it, my lad? Not for nothing. That sounds a little Scottish to me, there, my lad. I can't do a fucking. I can't do bagpipes for the life of me. Sorry. But anyway, thank you for showing up. Actually, I kind of like that name, my lad. How's it going there, laddie? So, but anyway. Nah, I'm not right. I'm never right in what I say. These are just my opinions and thoughts based on observation alone. It's a simple fact that, you cannot just take somebody's intellectual property and then all of a sudden you make it yours. And then you go on YouTube making videos. Well, YouTube demonetized my channel. Well, there's a reason why. These people don't want you using their intellectual property. This is their property. And if they want you to use it, they're going to want you to pay for it. Or at least if you make any profit, you have to sit down and sign licensing agreements as to how much they're willing to pay you and percentage-wise. That's a fucking fact. And then you're going to have assholes that say, whoa, it's free speech, it's transformative. That's not how it works. When you are directly stealing the backgrounds, the faces, the voices, the clothing, all of that shit, you are essentially infringing on copyright. Trademark infringement, all that kind of stuff. It's a fact. It is a fact. Now, I can give you a little insight. I already know how much it would cost me to make myself an official copyright owner. It's approximately, I think, $300 to officially make myself a copyright holder when it comes to my name, image, and all that. But for the simple fact that you upload things on YouTube and social media, immediately becomes your intellectual property without you having to be a copyright owner. And if somebody which I'm dealing with right now, little spoiler alert, that's why I made my own letterheads on really nice paper stock here, because someone is violating my right to protect my name, my face, my family. It's now become a hindrance in interfering with my right to make money, that it's attacking my business, my personality, my family. This person and his followers have stalked my ex-girlfriend. I talked about this in my live stream earlier today. I really don't want to spoil the night, folks. I want to, end this week on a bang. But my little sister has been paying attention to all of this, and she's been screen capping everything for me, which is awesome. But, you cannot just put things out there and say things about people without there being consequence. And that's what most of this is here. So it's just you cannot just take people's work and make it your own. That's not how it works. You can't do that. You can scream free speech and transformative this and bullshit. I'll tell you why, because it's happening to me right now. And just, because this jackass is trying to be smart by copy and pasting legal precedent, while I have some legal precedent of my own. North Carolina cyberstalking law NCGS 14-196.3 makes it a Class 2 misdemeanor. Okay? To use electronic communication to threaten, harass, terrify, or annoy someone, punishable for up to 60 days in jail and fines. It prohibits repeated, unwanted, or threatening online behavior. And boy, is there a lot of it. All I have to do is show the YouTube reports that I have. Lots of them, including 2 copyright takedowns. Using my father's image, who can no longer speak for himself because he's dead. Like my poor grandfather, who proudly served this country, he's dead. He can't speak for himself. My mother has been attacked. I've been personally attacked. I've been falsely accused of being a 9/11 fraud, which I can prove in a court of law. And I hope it goes to court. I want it to go to court. Actually, I'm begging for it to go to court. My mouth is salivating for me to go to court with this asshole and his pals. Because of this one instance alone from today, where he outright accused me of being a 9/11 fraud. And it's not the first time he's did it. It's just this one, the language is so blatant and so punctual and so straight to the point that I'm going to expose him for what he is. Where is that? It's in here. I thought I put all this together. Is this the one? No. And as a matter of fact, some of these people are taking my mug shots down because I sent them proof that I'm an innocent. Oh, here it was. Oh, here it is. He was never there. You know what? Let's do this the right way. Because I want to make sure that my union paperwork, Plumbers Local 1 paperwork, is right here when I expose this man for the falsehoods that he put out there. Here it is. He was never there on 9/11, and he was never a first responder. He says he was on the bucket brigade, while here he was digging up dead bodies. Fraud. That man said it. Kevin Colbert. That's his false, blatantly false accusation against me. And he's about to go against one of the most powerful unions in New York City. If he doesn't recant his statement, if he doesn't recant that comment, and all the other comments that he made up about me. September 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. No, I wasn't there. Go up against my union. I'll own your fucking muddy, dirty, slimy fucking driveway faster than you can blink your eyes. And this is coming from a man that was issued a cease and desist order, which demonstrates his fucking behavior and obsession with being told to shut the fuck up. At least I know I can go to bed for the next week or so knowing that I don't have to see AI videos of my father being resurrected, saying and doing things he never did. Like with them putting out my fucking mugshots out there without context and without retracting their statements about me, when I have been saying it all along. And there are the letters. Anybody can look these up. You want the case numbers? I'll give you the case numbers. Here, for the first one, case number 25 CR 295759. The district attorney's office dismissed Walter Hillegas's pending charge without leave. That means the judge didn't even waste his time looking at it. Oh, but he was a crazy person. Oh, because he was drunk and bullshit. I actually messaged WCCB or whoever the fuck the news outlet is to have those reports removed and provided these 2 letters. This is the one that I got from 2024 that the district, public defender issued me recently because I wanted to prove a point. I didn't think I'd have to go out of my way to get another copy of this, but she sent me a nice, fresh, minty copy of that letter. Voluntarily dismissed. You know what that means? That the opposing party dropped the charges because they filed a false police report when 3 of them who were trespassing in the pool decided to jump me and falsely accuse me of trying to hurt kids. Wrong again. Checkmate, you lose. And now that I know he's been suspended from his Masonic lodge and that he violated that cease and desist letter, I'm trying to fucking stop him before it's too late. He has no idea what's potentially coming down the road. And I know you're watching. I know your friends are watching. You really don't know what's coming down the road. And it may not be for me, but I'm telling you now, I know who I spoke to. I mentioned one name already, it's Louis Rosenthal. There's another name I'm not going to mention. And I'd be fucking careful if I were you. You are not right. You are not God's gift to the fucking earth. Your word is not final. And your followers are going to go down with you like a stack of dimes. Because now I got fucking leverage on you. Legal leverage in the form of that cease and desist order. What's going on, Tyler? How you doing? I hope you folks don't mind if I grab another beer. Is that okay? Hit 1 in the chat, folks, if it's okay if I go get another beer. That's my first one of the day, folks. I promise you. Always remember, rotate your stock. Thank my Lord and Savior, I got a refrigerator full of food and beer. Thank you, Dad, Grandpa. I got a photo of my dad right there, a photo of my granddad right there. I got my dad's mass card here. Got the cross right over my window above my desk. But thank all of you. Again, I really appreciate it, guys. Never fucking believe anything you see. When you watch the media, you know who I'm a big fan of? Trevor Bauer. I'm going to say his name. I'm a fan of Trevor Bauer. What that man was accused of and how people immediately turned their back on him. And everybody fucking dismissed him. And then finally, when it was found out that he was an innocent man, did anybody help him from Major League Baseball? Right now, he's pitching for a club out in Long Island. He's been pitching. He pitched in Japan and in Mexico, and now he's here in the States pitching. Major League Baseball owes him an apology. Yeah, he may be a little too old now to get back into the majors at this point, but the fucking Major League Baseball and all the people that spat in that man's face owes him an apology. Just like these fucking New York homos owe me an apology as well. Just because you see things on the news, just because you see things on camera, just because there are news reports out about you, doesn't mean you're guilty of a fucking crime. The system gets it wrong all the time, every day. And Trevor Bauer is a perfect example of that. Perfect example of that. At least somebody gave him a chance at redemption. He has a fantastic and beautiful redemption arc. He's allowed to live his fucking life. You think the woman that accused him of SA will ever say, I'm sorry? Of course not. And everybody that fucking spat on that man, I should get a Trevor Bauer. You know, like I got, like, I don't go out of my way to get certain jerseys. Like I got the, whatchamacallit there, what's his name, from the 49ers. The, shit, I have to get his jersey now. What the hell's his name? Man, I'm brain farting now. Harrison Butker, there you go. That's his name, Harrison Butker. That's why I bought this jersey years ago. That people started attacking Harrison Butker. Oh, he's a racist and a homophobe. No, he believes in our fucking natural biology that men are for women and women are for men. Men are not women and women are not men. The sanctity of marriage matters. The family structure and what men and women have been defined by the good book, God and Biology. That's why I bought this jersey as a reminder. I almost want to get a Trevor Bauer jersey as a result. I'm seriously contemplating that. What's going on, Biggie? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome aboard, everybody. Cheers. I hope you're all enjoying your Friday night, listening to me talk shit like I always do. And again, forgive me for jumping the gun. This is the brand new Mike Piazza jersey that I got, that I was bragging about. The size 44, by the way, is still on sale over at my eBay store. This one feels so much better. It's so much looser. This one's so much like looser. You know, the other one, it still fits me. It's just a little too tight for my own good. So to have a natural size XL, in this case a size 48, man, I couldn't be happier. I actually sent a photo of it to the seller. I was so happy with this thing. You have no idea. But yeah, that's why I buy certain things. I bought that Harrison Bucker jersey for a reason. And now I might get a Trevor Bauer jersey just to prove a point. Don't believe what you're told. And don't take fucking things at face value like these assholes who've been attacking me for years. Oh, he's a 9/11 fraud. Yeah, describe what it was like to take your first shit in a fucking infant diaper. What was it like to have the little cotton hat on your head when you were first born? Do you remember that? What about the first time you went wee-wee in your diaper? Do you remember that? People are not going to remember every single fucking word of every minute of every second of everything they've ever done in their lives. Our brain isn't wired that way. Oh, we can recall moments, but we're not going to recall every fucking word of every day that we said. And for people to nitpick on me, bullshit. I've never denied that I wasn't at that side. I was. And they don't like it. I don't like it. They don't like it. I fucking hate this shit. I hate talking about this stuff. I hate talking about this stuff. It's ridiculous, man. I don't go out of my way digging through people's fucking personal lives, trying to discredit them because they have a little something more. Popularity, perhaps. Women, money. Don't worry about what I spend my fucking money on. How many of these assholes can make 12 grand like I did these past, now what is it, 3 days, 4 days, something like that? They can't. I did. I might not be able to make that ever again, but I got lucky because of perseverance and hard work. And hopefully by this time next week, I'm praying to God it works out that way, that I can find a decent car to buy. I just have to wait for the second half of the money to clear. Which is awesome because the Aaron Judge and the Shohei Ohtani went through eBay's authentication. They were authenticated. The money was released. It's in my hand. Now I just have to wait for the Griffey Jr. to be authenticated. That'll be, in my account probably by Tuesday. I'm going to guess probably because it's just the time frame that I mailed it out. And I don't think they authenticate on the weekends. I mean, I'm not sure, but I can almost guarantee by this time next week I'll be car shopping. These guys can't say that, and they don't like that. And I see the fucking comments, the jealous comments that I see. They don't like it. They're so worried about my finances. Don't fucking worry about my money. Don't worry about what I do with myself. I have a redemption arc, and I have rebuilt myself to this point. Don't worry about what I fucking do. And now, yes, they are. They are sick puppies. You've seen it yourself there, Penny. You've seen it yourself. They are sick. You've seen what's been going up with my father. My sister has been capturing a lot of this stuff. The reports that I have on YouTube of all the videos that have been taken down by this motherfucker, or at least the ones that I filed, including the 2 copyright strikes he's got. I'm surprised he hasn't got a third one. And then he's trying to claim free speech and transformative, blah, blah, blah. You are still, regardless of that, infringing on my copyright. Yeah, and that's the thing. It may look like I live in a lap of luxury. I don't. I live in a one-bedroom apartment. Do I have a fancy car? No. It looks like I have a lot of things. I really don't. I really don't. But ego gets in the way with this man in particular. That's why he has a cease and desist order, which basically told him to shut his fucking mouth, and he didn't. And he got kicked out of his lodge for that. You know what it takes to be blackballed out of a lodge or expelled from a lodge? I will say this. He's looking at two potential things happening to him. I shouldn't even say this, and he should be preparing right now. Should I give him the benefit of the doubt, or should I flex a little bit? He's looking at a civil suit or multiple civil suits and or a federal lawsuit. That's all I'm going to say. And that was told to me on good faith. I shouldn't even have said that much. Oh, believe me, there's a lot to say, but I've had to train myself over the years, as I know what these bastards try to do. They try to play the victim. Look what he said. Look what he did on camera. Oh, he's threatening me this. Like there's a fake text message that Kevin Coburn put over at his community page, claiming that I sent him a fucking text message about his daughter. Really? I'd like to know what phone number that is. Didn't come from me. I have two phone numbers. The phone number for this cell phone and the phone number for my home phone, which is a landline. Tell me again how that was me. It just so happens that there is a blown up image of his daughter that I put into one of my thumbnails. How do I know one of his buddies didn't fucking do that? Based on his behavior, especially with that C&D I got sitting right there. Who's to say he didn't do that himself? He's so good at AI. He's so good at making up bullshit and accusing people of things. He's called one of my now former friends under the pseudonym Lucian Stevenson, which I still have on my computer, by the way. Oh, look out for Wally. He's loco in the coco. Remember that motherfucker? I know you're watching. I have that audio on my computer. Just like your buddy Dan King called the fucking leasing office where I used to live, claiming I'm shooting firearms. But it's okay that you can have a shotgun, but New York politicians aren't allowed to have guns. And I put that meme up on my community page. Whoops. So what makes you the all-powerful, almighty wizard of what? The fuck out of here. Surprised you can still get your dick up at your fucking age. What are you? He's 61, I think, at this point. He claims that I'm a fucking fraud. Really, the real fraud doesn't send their wife out with their kid begging for medical benefits. And I got the newspaper article claiming that I'm a 9/11 fraud who lost a career for doing the right thing. And then you post that publicly recently while I have evidence. Please, please, please file a lawsuit against me. I want you to. Try it. Try it. And to actually claim it's free speech and transformative bullshit. I have North Carolina law on my side. You will never, never, especially with the shit that my sister has seen, what my poor mother has seen, what I have on, especially now with these comments, you have outright unzipped your fucking fly. And now that I've got this cease and desist letter in my hands that you violated, you're fucked. Listen, to spread that kind of genome, I don't even want to get into it. Here it is. Here it is. He was never there on 9/11. He's going to have to, the burden of proof as the accuser would need to prove I wasn't there. Let him go up against my union. As a matter of fact, I'm going to even, where's my, Right there. I've showed this on camera. I've showed this on camera, and I'll show it again. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide. I want him to question the validity of my union's paperwork. There is my union card, my current union card. There's my dues card from Plumbers Local Union number 1. Go ahead. Ask them. Try to challenge them. They'll tell you to either go fuck yourself or talk to a lawyer. He has no idea what he started this time. Oh, I've got records. I've got this. Bullshit. Bullshit. He's not a victim. He got himself into trouble already with the fucking Grand Lodge of New York State for what he did. And I've got the C&D right there. Keep fucking around, jackass. I'm your daddy now. And I know I have the upper hand, because what that does, coming from another major entity, as a union man, as a member of the 9/11 community, and now I got the Grand Lodge of the Freemasons of New York State on my fucking side. I like to see him go against my home local in New York. And God bless Plumbers Local Union number 1. My dad got me into the business. But anyway. But I'll deal with that when the time comes, folks. I feel so... I just read that last comment. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's so fucking gross. Isn't it gross? Isn't it gross that we've reached a point in this world where people will say or practically do anything to try to artificially raise themselves above somebody else and then claim it's a violation of free speech? Bullshit. Free speech is not absolute. It is not absolute. It never will be absolute. That's why when people, like when this asshole sent federal agents to my home, no firearms, no wrongdoing. There was no fucking intent. You know, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. He failed. Failed. I still got the business cards to this day of the federal agent that talked to me. I said, why don't you go after him for wasting your time and the government's resources? Of course, because that was their answer. Well, here's the proof. Here's what he's been doing to me. And then he would brag about it on his now deleted second channel, which I successfully terminated. This is the third iteration of this channel he has. And it was terminated because of the same reasons that he's fucking up now. You have to bear with me, guys. I know I'm kind of like all over the place here. I shouldn't even like get into this stuff. But it's fucked up, folks. We give out a lot of business cards. Let me tell you, man, when them federal agents came to my home that one time, I laughed. I'm like, why don't you go question him? Here's his former, what was it, Slippery When Wet. That was one of 2 channels that went down because of his bullshit. Why don't you question him? He's wasting resources and time. Have I committed a crime? No. Okay, well, fuck you. Bye. Nothing came about. But that I have right there, where I caught him falsely accusing me of being a 9/11 fraud, and not only that, he cyber stalked my ex-girlfriend. I have the capture right here in front of me. Where is that? That he actually took the time to go and search my ex-girlfriend's fucking social media post. I am outright publicly accusing him of alleged cyber stalking. He is Kevin Colbert of Calverton, New York. I'm alleging publicly is a cyber stalker. I am alleging this publicly. That I'm a 9/11 fraud. No, it's ridiculous. I agree. My mother is under enough emotional distress as it is. Mr. Colburl is lucky he doesn't encounter my brother. But like I said, my brother-in-law is a military cop, served in Afghanistan. His father is a current police officer out in Long Island. Here's where him and Dan Edward King, aka Dogpile Dan, decided to stalk my ex-girlfriend and found her social media page and posted this. So now I've got Dan by the balls, and I am publicly alleging Dan Edward King is a cyber stalker as well, for the record. And there's my proof. Why are you hunting out my ex-girlfriend? Never once have I ever said I was going to hurt this woman. I have said that I will let the camera do all the work. It's right there. These men have this disgusting obsession with me, and I don't know why. Fuck the 501st Legion. They threw me under the bus, and I'm going to say this again. Back in the days, because of an unruly security guard, they've been trying to silence me for years. Fuck the faggot, homo, cross-dressing, septum ring, guilty white liberal rainbow-haired freak shows that duct tape their peepees to the sides of their legs because they can't decide what sex they are. But obviously, when you look down, you know what you are. You just don't want to admit that you're human. That they threw me under the bus to protect the fact that they get free concert tickets, they get free entrance into baseball events. I got hundreds and hundreds of photos and hundreds of hours of video. They get free entrance into the fucking Brooklyn Cyclones, the New York Mets, the New York Yankees. They bitch, moan, whine, and complain. And I am saying this. Oh, we got pizza. You're fucking lucky the event organizers would give you fucking pizza. You should be grateful. You're a volunteer, asshole. But then, of course, when it was found out that I was paid $500 times 2 for 2 events, Uniqlo and Jelly Belly Jelly Beans, well, of course, that made the... What's his name? Ron Layers? Mr. Darth Vader himself in the fucking 501st up there in New York. Jealous fucking man prick. Jealous prick. That I got paid. And what did he do? He upgraded his costume to match up to my standards. Because I'm one of the only Darth Vaders that got paid at that time. Jealous motherfucker. Just like certain people out there from fucking Brooklyn, New York, that live right by the Verrazano Bridge. When I first met their Empire Saber Guild fucking bullshit, was taking the blade out of his lightsaber and shining green lights on women's asses out by St. Mark's Place and cheated on his fucking wife. Which I saw firsthand, and people sent me paperwork saying that they witnessed this themselves. It's all going to blow up. It's all going to blow up. It's all going to blow up. And this time I'm not going to fucking stop. I will not stop. And this is not drunken rage. This is not alcoholism. I know exactly. For the record, I'm going to say this. For the record, I know exactly what it is I am saying. I know what it is I am alleging. And I will not back off. Yeah, they wanted everything for free. When I did events with the Brooklyn Cyclones, you got free tickets and free entry. All right, New York Comic Con, either they would get free tickets or they would get half price to get in. All right, Eternal Con, which is right around the corner, my buddy Frank Patz, I'm sure they'll get free entrance or they'll have to pay 50% of the ticket price to get in. Same thing with Winter Con, same thing with Big Apple Con. Oh, but they bought us pizza. What the fuck you want? Shrimp cocktail and caviar? What's that? That's funny. My Mr. Yankee just messaged me on WhatsApp, and I saw it go across the top of my phone there. I'm not surprised if my buddy is going to be howling outside because the fucking Mets are just, man, they are something to watch, man. Apparently they are losing badly right now again. Jeez. I would drive these people around. I donate fucking money. I buy their stupid fucking coins. and business cards. And what did I get in return for all that shit? Shh, be quiet. Fuck you. I will never be quiet. Not once, not ever. Back off. There's a reason why. There's a reason why. Like I got these are mostly prototypes, but you know what? Since I'm not big time. I am a home run business. I can kind of accept my letterheads the way they are. You know what I mean? I don't have to be so particular with these. I'm still small peanuts, right? But there's a reason why I have better paper stock and a letterhead like this. These fuckers are going to learn the hard way now to back off. Back off. Stay out of my life, leave my family alone, and back the fuck off. All this time, I've been telling the truth, and nobody wanted to fucking listen. I am Trevor Bauer in a lot of ways. Oh, because he's got mugshots and he was arrested and he was drunk. At the end of the day, I said it before, and I'll say it again. It's what's in black and white on my end that matters the most. And now they went to go seek out my ex-girlfriend to falsely accuse me of wanting to attack her, or I may attack her. That right there is fucking defamation and cyber stalking. I highly suggest that within the next 72 hours, by the time Monday rolls around, they delete those comments. Delete the fucking comments. Because right now I am pushing to have those comments removed myself. Kevin Coburl already has 2 strikes against his channel. One more, the channel goes away. I will be filing a counterclaim on each one of them. Once, if all 3 strikes go through, 2 have gone through already. The third one means he's completely terminated. I will file a counterclaim. I hope you're watching, asshole. I am going to show YouTube your fucking cease and desist letter where you got yourself into fucking trouble and thrown out of Lessing Lodge because of your bullshit. I'm going to show them the slanderous comments that you left on other people's channels, in particular my fucking ex-girlfriend. You are a cyber stalker. You don't know when to keep your mouth shut. You need a fucking rubber dick stuck in your mouth with a leather strap, like a bondage gimp. Keep your fucking mouth shut, because that's what got you thrown out of fucking Lessing Lodge. Like all that bullshit that happened with one of your buddies that said, what was it, Woo Flu? Oh, I've done a lot of homework on you, motherfucker, since you like doing homework on me. What was it, the Glendale Civic Association? Because one of your friends got into fucking trouble for opening up his big mouth too. Calling the China virus Wu Flu or whatever the fuck it was. Free speech is not absolute, dumbass. You and your friend learned the hard way, didn't they? And now you got a cease and desist order. And there are multiple, and I'm going to say, and again, I'm trying to be careful here. There are many people that have plans for you. And I will be joining the team. I will be like the top prospect in all of this, because I've got paperwork that's that thick. What we got here? Tyler, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, by the way, a little tribute to Keno Casino. Whoa, buddy! What? No more Vorsteiner? No, my days of Vorsteiner are over. I don't drink that stuff. Like, right, see, that message right there is something else that I just got. Point taken. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to, when I get messages off camera from other resources of people that I know who are watching my live streams, you know, how can I put this? It's good to have people on your side that are looking out for your best interests. You know who I'm talking about. So thank you for that. I appreciate the little the little shoulder pump, you know, poof. So bear with me, folks. Let me go take a leak. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. I shall return. Ta-ra-ra-boom-de-ay. Okay. Oh my goodness. How you folks doing tonight? Take me home tonight. Uh-oh, Ziggy's here too. Man, what a crowd I got, man. What a crowd, what a crowd. So, oh man, the thing is, oh, jeez. Man, that was tough to open. You know why? Because this beer's been sitting in my fridge for a while. Like, I really, except for a night like tonight, I just didn't give a shit. So, here we go. Here's another asshole. Is this one of them? You know what? Screen cap time. I just want to make sure my face is there. I never said, come on, there we go. I never said I was in the building, not at any time. I said I was on the site after it happened. All right? I already know what's going to come clean you, Malacca. Why would you use Malacca? Why would you use the word Malacca? That's a Greek word. Who do I know in New York who... Oh, you must be... This must be Babu Parsek's fucking bullshit. Is this Steve Gary? Or is this Joey? Or one of the Boston Pines kids? Who would this be? Well, of course they're a fucking coward. They won't say who it is. But at least I got this one. Here we go again, folks. I just screen captured that. So, I am writing on behalf of local union number 1 member, Mr. Walter Hillegas, and I'll give you my book number. Why not? It's 1173749. Now, remember that like it's the back of my hand. I am attesting to the fact that Mr. Walter Hillegas worked at the World Trade Center as an unpaid volunteer who was there on his own accord without any direction from Plumbers Local Union number 1. on September 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th, 2001. Mr. Hilligas volunteered 7 hours each evening on Wednesday, September 12th, Thursday, September 13th, and Friday, September 14th, 2001. He volunteered 16 hours per day, September 15th and September 16th, 2001. During that time, he worked on the bucket brigade and debris removal under the guidance of New York City Police Department and the New York City Fire Department. If any other information is required on his behalf, please do not hesitate to contact my office, Big Bob Murray, business agent, which I think still works for them to this day. There it is, motherfucker, from my home local. Just to sweeten the pot a little bit more, you're fucking wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Not everybody can recall every fucking minute, every second. What time did you happen to burp and fart last night? How many times did you blink your eyes last week without even thinking about it? Don't think about it. How many times did you feel your heart beating behind your chest? Not everybody can remember every fucking instance in their fucking lives, jackass. Even celebrities are like that. I dare anybody, again, and they won't do it. Fucking cowards. Fucking cowards. Go ahead. Go try it. Try it. Watch what they tell you. They're going to tell you to go fuck yourself. We're not going to tell you anything because he is a protected member or something to that effect. Or until you have a lawyer, stay away and mind your fucking business. And people actually have called my union, and they were all told to go fuck themselves. All right, you're done. Let me just screen capture. I want to make sure my face is on camera. There you go, and you're getting nuked. Goodbye. You're not going to hold me to my past, asshole. You're not going to hold me to my past. You're not going to hold me to fucking anything. Not everybody can remember every fucking second of their life. Go fuck yourself. Fuck your family. Fuck your friends. Fuck New York. And fuck everything about all of you. That also goes for your fucking buddies too. I have things you can't have. You'll never have. You can't be me. You'll never be me. Tough shit. Even celebrities, politicians, people fuck up all the time. But I'm not going to let you fucking hold me down to a point in my past. Now go create another fake YouTube account. The fuck out of here. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Fucking nitwits. And this is the stuff I've been dealing with. I don't have to fucking answer to anybody. It's what's in a fucking court of law that matters. It's what's in the court of law that matters, not the court of fucking public opinion. You are not a lawyer. You are not a doctor. You're not a private investigator. You are nobody but a fucking pointless, worthless, no one little fucking nitwit that society couldn't care less about. If you died, nobody would know who you are. You've made no impact on society. You have no value. Fuck that. Oh, that one came out of nowhere. Who's this? Zcor Alpha? Am I saying that right? Yes, they do. They're fucking awful, man. Yes, they are. They're awful. They are awful. You have to laugh. Well, they're called the lovable, blah, blah. They are the lovable losers of Major League Baseball. You know what I mean? The Yankee, who is a good friend of mine who's watching this live stream, is keeping me up to date with the latest scores and all that shit. Apparently, the Mets are losing again. The owner doesn't. Well, look at Mendoza, their manager, man. They got to can his ass. If they don't shit can Mendoza after this game, I don't know what fucking gives. I really don't. They're paying all this money for Bo Bichette and Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor, Brett Beatty, and all these guys, and they can't do anything. Only purchase them for his wife. Yeah, kinda. I agree with that. So basically, the Mets are her boy toys. Allegedly. I am saying that allegedly, by the way. Fuck the court of public opinion. It's what's in black and white that matters. Just like with them putting my fucking mug shots out there, it's what's in the paperwork that matters. I talked about, you know what? I'll catch some of you up. Well, let's acknowledge these comments first. Shame cause City Field has decent food. My buddy Adam, who used to play poker with us when I was living in New York, operated. He actually took me up there. There's a room where they have old school, well, not just reel-to-reels, but they have, I forgot what they're called, but they're real videotapes on these shelves that they can recall past games from and all that kind of stuff. And he would operate the big apple coming out of the top hat and all that kind of stuff. It was really amazing. Like when they get a home run, he would light up the lights and the screens and all that kind of shit. So imagine breaking, oh yeah, well, not good. They might actually accomplish that. And that's not a good goal to accomplish. Interesting. You know, it's fun because it's funny because like back in the 80s, even in the early 2000s, like, you know, especially I'm wearing a Mike Piazza, Mitchell and Ness 911 kit. You know, they have their moments, but they just can't. I just don't get it. There's just something there's like this weird ether that hangs over that area of Flushing, Queens. Oh, by the way, even on that subject of Flushing, I've been hearing a lot of weird, well, not weird, but like good stuff going on. Where all of those junkyards and all of that shit is supposed to be disappearing if it hasn't disappeared, that they're actually building a stadium for, what is it, NYCFC, I think they're building it for. I know the New York Red Bull is still out in Jersey, but apparently NYCFC is building a stadium out there. So that Subway Series in 2000 was brutal. Is that the... You know what sucks? I actually had in my collection, I regret... There are very few things I regret selling at my eBay store. This is one of them. I'm sure I can track one down. I want to get a Mike Piazza 2001 away kit. Is it the away kit? Yes, it was the away kit. It was the gray kit. Where Piazza, I think, broke his bat when Roger Clemens was pitching to him, and then a piece of it flew up to Roger Clemens, and he grabbed it and threw it and almost hit Piazza. I had that jersey in a size 52, and I sold it off because it was too big on me because of all the weight loss. So, you know, that's one sale of my eBay store I completely regret. The jersey was just way too big on me. It's like this one. I had a size 3XL that I had to get tailored. And yeah, that's a Piazza right there. This is the Mitchell and Ness 911 jersey in a size XL in a size 48. I had this jersey actually the jersey's still on sale over at my eBay store. The size 44. This one just fits me a lot better. It's a little more loose and all that. But yep, that's an exact replica of the 9/11 jersey that Piazza hit that home run out of Citi Field with. So, but yeah, I regret selling that damn Piazza jersey, because that's a moment in time where like fucking Piazza just owned Clemens. You know, no matter what Clemens did, Piazza just aced him again and again and again and again. It was glorious. But we all know what the outcome was at the end of the day anyway, so That was a spooky team. I think Robin Ventura was on that squad. Piazza was on that squad. Um, yeah, the Mets and Yankees are just, it's David versus Goliath. David versus Goliath. I mean, back in the 80s when I was a kid, and you guys have seen this, the Gary Carter home and away jerseys that I got from the 86 World Series. The Mets were something else. Even back in 1969, I have two jerseys. I have the Roger Clemens and I have the Tom Seaver Mitchell and Ness jersey, which I had deconstructed and had it rebuilt so that the sleeves are cut better. That's the one jersey that Mitchell and Ness did that I didn't like. With the Tom Seaver jersey, it was very, very inaccurate compared to the way it was worn back in the 60s and 70s like that. But let me see. Want to know who I consider the most evil MLB team that ever existed, in my opinion? Yeah, sure. Hit me up. Hit me up. I had strawberry all over my room. Played very dirty? Huh. Trying to think. Are we talking about like on-field fights and bench clearing, like that sort of stuff? Oh, the 87 St. Louis Cardinals. That's the Ozzie Smith St. Louis Cardinals. Am I right or wrong? That's got to be the Ozzie Smith. Yeah, okay. There you go. So yeah, that was the Ozzie Smith days. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yes, it does. And Ozzie was a great fielder in his time. But yeah, I can see that. I could definitely see that. I'll be honest with you, I have a very sick mind because I like watching soccer fights. I love watching baseball fights and football fights, but nothing to me is more weird as far as entertainment is concerned. I love weird shit, but watching bench clearings is amazing. One of my favorite ones is the George Brett Pine Tar incident where I think it was he hit a home run or some shit like that, and the manager at that time was looking and said, check the bat from the Yankees, and they're looking and the umpire puts the fucking pine tar down on top of the plate and measures it. Like there was pine tar all over the damn bat. You're gone. And then fucking George Brett went into a fury. There's nothing like that. Yeah, I love watching old school baseball flicks, man. It reminds me of when I was a kid. Oh, be right back. Check this out. This is one of these jerseys. I'm going to have to order another one and probably sell off this one because this is one of those kits that, unfortunately, I was a little bit fatty chum. Charging the mound used to be something special. Oh, yeah. If you guys don't know what this is, if you guys don't know what that is and you're a baseball fan, I mean, come on. You got to know what this is. This was my second favorite show growing up as a kid besides the Transformers. I mean, this is not the exact same hat, but it's very close. Come on, you guys should know what this is. Oh my God, man. The Baseball Bunch with Johnny Bench. He had Gary Carter on there. He had Ted Williams on there. I mean, dude, I think Ozzie Smith was on that show for one or two episodes. It was just a great baseball show for the kids to watch, man. I loved it. I loved this as a kid. So when I saw this company, Boris Customs, you need a Sid Finch jersey, at least a bobblehead. That's funny. Yeah, I actually sourced out the MLB anniversary patch for this shirt because that's how the kids wore it back in the days. But, unfortunately, like I said, this jersey's just a little big on me. I kind of want to have it a little more tight. This one I think is like a 2XL. But yeah, the baseball bunch, man, that was something else. You wake up after all the cartoons were done. Like I remember as a kid, you went through all the cartoons Saturday morning, and then all of a sudden it would transition over to like live shows again, like the baseball bunch and Saved by the Bell and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden my dad's like, I want to fucking watch my TV now. And of course, it'd be nothing but like, baseball and basketball and boxing. And, my dad loved his war movies, loved his, stuff like that. Let me just pay attention here to the comments because I see the comments are scrolling by pretty quick. Unita said, Finch, nice memories. 1986 Mets were interesting. Yeah, because they were all alcoholics and cokeheads. That's why. They were all cokeheads. Every one of them was a cokehead or a boozer, or like certain hotels and airlines banned them because they were so fucked up. It's funny because the most creative, I think George Carlin made a joke about this years ago. My late father loved women's wrestling. Well, that's a whole different ball of wax. I never really watched women's wrestling, but yeah, I mean, the 86 Mets were just boozers, alcoholics, cocaine users. Darryl Strawberry was probably the one standout guy in that whole group. Doc Gooden, Wally Backman, Gary Carter, Lenny Dykstra, Keith Hernandez. I'm trying to think. Shit, I'm brain farting. Oh, he was a puppies guy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, he was a puppies guy. I understand what you're trying to say. Yes, he loved his puppies. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Mom. I don't think my mom would mind. I got my dad was a tough cookie. He did a lot of fucked up shit, but, deep down he was just a man like the rest of us. And he had his manly likes and manly things that he enjoyed, and he definitely enjoyed the puppies. I think he was more puppies guy than the Berdunkerdunk. You know what I mean? So, yeah, what a fun live stream. I didn't think this live stream was going to go this way. Did you know Old Toronto Blue Jays Stadium, near industrial part of the city, homeless people ended up on the field during the games? Really? No shit. See, when you said Toronto Blue Jays, I almost got them confused for the Montreal Expos, which became the Washington Nationals, as a matter of fact. But my late dad, the same way. Most men is. I mean, I would question your manlyhood if you weren't a puppies guy or a Berdunkerdunk. So... Yeah, I appreciate the live stream, guys. Listen, thank you very much. I know, again, it sucks with all the serious bullshit I've been talking about here in these live streams and having to deal with this nonsense. I hope I've done enough, to show you guys what these fuckers have been doing is just quite sad and quite gross and frankly disturbing, especially this one individual. It's very disturbing. And I really appreciate you guys kind of pulling me out of it and talking the kind of subjects. I'm a guy just like the rest of you. Even some of you ladies that are out there who are baseball fans, never be afraid to throw your hat, throw your keys into the pot, so to speak. But I appreciate all of you guys, waking me up here a little bit. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that, everybody. You need to have, thank you for that. Fans found it hilarious. 1985 Royals taught me baseball. Yeah, back then the 80s were like that transition period, especially with technology getting better and better, like the way it was. Now look what we have. We have the challenge now with bad calls. I'm beginning to think that umpires are going to be obsolete within the next 5 to 10 years. They're not going to have humans out there anymore. I mean, what's the point? Because now if you can track these balls, you don't need an umpire anymore. You really don't. Like in soccer right now, I mean, you do have linesmen and then you have the main referee. But at the end of the day, humans are going to screw up. They go right to the technology and then calls get overturned left and right. I think that's going to happen in baseball as well. I actually like the pitch clock because it makes the game more interesting and it makes the game move. That's what got me back into baseball. I hated baseball. I'm not going to lie. For like 12 to 14 years, I hated it. But now with the changes they made the bases bigger. They have a pitch clock now. They got the pitch challenge and all that kind of stuff. So I like when you're in a good mood because it makes the Stooges seethe. No, of course, because they want me to be all fucked up. This me that you see is not the same guy that I used to be on YouTube. I said that and I meant that. I know what they're looking for, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're not going to see me fucking flipping tables and going off on a tirade and all that shit. That's not happening, folks. You got to be a little bit more logical. And I'm going to be 50 next year. You know, and you know, I've gone past my immaturity at this point here on YouTube. You know, this is my comfort zone right here. I'm in Georgia, huge Braves fan. You know, I'm here in North Carolina in South Charlotte, and you'd be surprised how many Atlanta Falcons fans there are and Atlanta Braves fans that are here. You know, it's a bit of there's actually a pretty surprising New York Giants supporter base here in Charlotte. And there's quite a few bars that will support the Giants. But baseball, it's like a mixed bag. I mean, you do see more Atlanta Braves fans here. And you guys got the Savannah Bananas, for God's sakes. I'd love to go see a Savannah Bananas game. I would love to see a Savannah Bananas game. Those guys are insane. I've seen highlights. Let me see here. What's going on in North Carolina with all the May Day walkouts? Yes, me and my late father surf fishing off North Carolina shoreline. I'll answer the first one. What's going on in the North Carolina May Day? Nobody gives a shit. Nobody really cares. If you, the only people that really care about that stupid shit is if you're in Uptown, what we call Center City or Uptown. Nobody gives a flying fuck. They really don't. And the next comment here, yeah, me and my late father surf fishing and all that kind of stuff, maybe years, good memories. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. You know, that was one thing about my dad. He really never was, he never really was much of a fishing guy. But as a kid off of Flushing Bay, he would take us to fish for eels. I mean, it was catch and release and all that kind of stuff, but that was the extent of us going fishing as a kid, because you know it's New York up there, you know what I'm saying? So, I see a little something different here. John Doe says, if I want to get into baseball, where should I start? Huh. Good. That's a good question. Watch a game on TV first. Break yourself in. I mean, I'm not much of a statistics guy. I base my opinions on what I see. I don't keep stats and WAR and home runs and ERAs. I'm just your typical guy that turns on a game, for the teams I like. And then after that, I just go with the flow. Start with watching a game, on TV. And then do like what I did years ago. The Brooklyn fucking Cyclones minor league baseball is awesome. You really have no idea how awesome minor league baseball. Always remember this three-legged dog in Wilmington. Okay, John Doe, go to a live game. John Doe says, which team though? See, that's the beauty of it. You can pick here. I'm a former New Yorker. I've been down here in Charlotte for 10 years. I support the Yankees. I support the Mets. I support the New York Giants. I'm a German soccer fan, so I support Bayern Munich and the German national team. It's all about you as a fan. You have to pick and choose, I guess, which army you're going to support, more or less. That's the beauty of sports. You can find your loyalty wherever it is. You know, for me, I grew up in New York City. I'm always going to support my New York teams because of my roots, I'm always going to support Bayern Munich because that's where a lot of my heritage comes from. So the New Jersey Giants, oh, there's a whole story behind that. New York really just, when the fucking New York Red Bulls moved out to Jersey, and now they're building that stadium out there in College Point, I think it's called, where Shea Stadium used to be, where Citi Field is now. Why not build a fucking multi-purpose stadium for the Giants, the Jets, the Red Bulls, and New York and NYCFC? It doesn't make sense. They brought the Nets back into Brooklyn. You know, the Islanders they brought back to Brooklyn, didn't they? I mean, I'm not a hockey fan. If that's one thing, you guys can correct me. I don't watch hockey. I'm not a fan of the Rangers or anything like that. How far are the Charlotte Knights from you? Not that far at all, actually. It's basically it's like getting in the Harry Potter house. Yeah, more or less. There you go. There you go. It's all about the feels, baby. It's all about the feels. It's all about the feels. Jets and Giants were supposed to move to Manhattan years ago. Well, believe it or not, oh, look at it, he's a fraud. He's a fraud. There's my ID card from when I worked on the new Yankee Stadium from Almar Plumbing. I actually did some work on that stadium, on the concession stands, as a matter of fact, before I got all fucked up. So, well, the Yankees are never going to leave the Bronx. They're always going to be the Bronx Bombers, but the Jets were supposed to have a stadium on the west side of Manhattan, on top of the rail yards. That fell apart because the community got involved. So, of course, if the Jets are going to play there, the Giants were probably going to end up sharing that stadium. But the problem is that the fucking demographics, the traffic alone to get to the west side of Manhattan would have been impossible. Now they're building the stadium out there in College Point for NYCFC. They should have built a multi-purpose stadium. If they can have a tennis stadium out there and they redid Citi Field, they got rid of the old Shea Stadium, built Citi Field, they should have put a fucking multi-purpose stadium for the Jets, the Giants, Red Bull New York, NYCFC, and apparently the New York Cosmos. The fucking New York Cosmos. The third iteration of the New York Cosmos. Gee. Jeez. Mr. Yankee has just informed me that the Athletics are beating the Mets 3-0. Oh, my God. My poor buddy who's a Mets fan that lives here on the property. I mean, he's got the whole weekend off. First, well, unless he's driving around or some shit. Oh, my God, he's going to be pissed. This is awful. They've got to be at least, I know for a fact they're under 500 at this point. Imagine an ML team back in Brooklyn. Oh, yeah, like the Brooklyn Dodgers. Well, that's where a lot of baseball truly started, man. You had the Yankees, you had the New York Giants before they left, the Brooklyn Dodgers. So the Giants and Dodgers took off to move out to the West Coast. So you had San Francisco Giants, and now today's iteration of the LA Dodgers. And then, of course, God. Oh, my Lord. Jeez. Can you guys suggest any teams? Well, you know what? The best suggestion to me is watch your, I mean, it's going to be a little nuts, but Mutt's record is 10 wins, 21 losses. Okay. Mr. Yankee just sent me his stat report. 10 wins, 21 losses. Jeez. Your best bet is to watch dead last, of course. I'm getting updates here with the statistics. Thank you, Mr. Yankee. So, to me, if you're going to try to get into Major League Baseball fandom, obviously I am suffering wearing Mets gear. But the only reason I'm wearing it is because of the significance of what this jersey means to me, and the hat as well, by the way. So, with that being said, the evil empire rules. Oh man, I'm getting it from all directions tonight. Holy shit. So, if I were you, watch some highlights of Major League Baseball teams. You can go to MLB. MLB has a YouTube channel, SNY. You know, you go to the individual states YouTube channels and individual city channels, watch some highlights, and then before you know it, in the back of your brain, it's like, I like these guys. These are cool. Or you may have that one. Obviously, everybody's on the Brooklyn Dodgers, the LA Dodgers bandwagon because of Shohei Ohtani. They are now back-to-back World Series champions, and they could potentially go for the triple this year. It all depends on you. It all depends on you. That's the beauty of fandom. You can be a fan of a team that fucking sucks and still support them and not really care, but you still have the right to have fun supporting them. They are the lovable losers for a reason, but at the end of the day, the king of the hill are the New York Yankees in New York. That's a fact. It all depends. It all depends. It all depends. Yeah, I mean, cheers, by the way. Oh, that's good. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, the Atlanta Braves, I think, had a couple of them. I'm not an Atlanta Braves fan, to be specific, to be honest with you, but you guys, oh, somebody already put it there. 90s Braves fans were fire. 1995, 2021. They beat the Yankees, didn't they? Or am I mistaken? I might have my facts wrong here. Again, I'm not a Braves fan, to be honest with you. So I don't follow, I don't follow them. And I'm beginning to think that the beer is starting to get to me at this point. But again, thank you, everybody. I just want to take the time to say thank you. Again, shameless e-beg before I continue. Thank you for helping to support the channel. Welcome to all my new viewers and subscribers and everybody who is here watching this and having fun and all that kind of stuff. And I appreciate my viewer base. It's been kind of miserable, but I really thank you all for really snapping me out of this funk that I've been in. And thank you for that. I really do. 27-time World Series champs are the Yankees. And I know Mr. Yankee was very quick to want to point that one out. If you heard the alert on my phone. So Mr. Yankee, of course, is like, yes, yes. Oh, Mr. Yankee, by the way, I still haven't forgot you. I definitely have to. Oh, shit, I didn't even put this into a sleeve, so I'll just leave that over there. But there is a lot of Yankee stuff I yet to get out the door when I have a chance. I didn't forget you. For how you helped me out. I haven't forgotten. It's still here on my desk. Still here on my desk. So, and there he is, Donnie Baseball and all that stuff. Man, I fucking hated the fact I had to get rid of that. I don't want to say got rid of, but sometimes in life you got to make some tough choices, my friends. Las Vegas Raiders fan. I know a thing or two about following a shitty team. Oh, believe me, be a New York Giants fan, and you're really gonna find out how angry the fans get. Aaron Judge rookie card. Yeah, I sold that Aaron Judge Bowman Chrome. Finally, actually went through authentication today, along with the Shohei Ohtani. The only thing that needs to happen now is that the Ken Griffey Jr. probably won't be approved until Monday because obviously today's Friday. It's a weekend, so. But I'm hoping, by the grace of God, man, I should have a new set of wheels by this time next week. I think. I hope. Let me just catch up here with the chat real quick. Titans of New York. Let me see. Let me go back here a little bit. Titans of New York. Jersey Team Braves best. 2021 ring. Absolutely beautiful. Being a Las Vegas. All right, I read that one already. Gotta go. I subbed. Have a great night. Yeah, thank you very much for joining in. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you coming in here. 70s Raiders are fire. Isn't that the when was Bo Jackson a Raider? I know Bo Jackson was a Raider for a while. Wasn't he? Correct me on this one, folks. I think Bo Jackson was a Raider, but I'm thinking the 80s. But didn't they have that crazy, psychotic, steroided, big white dude that everybody was afraid of? What the hell was his name? I know there's documentaries about him on YouTube, but there was some really huge, big white guy that like people were scared of back then. I can't think of his name for the damn life of me. That they were literally terrified to confront the guy on the field. Fine, I'm a Braves fan now. Good luck. So what kind of beer am I drinking right now? I'm drinking Miller Lite with the screw tops on top. They're really good, especially if you're in a wooded area like where I am. You know, it's a lot of shrubbery, a lot of trees and all that kind of stuff. I don't like to get bugs in my beer. And also, if I don't feel like drinking no more, I can put the cap right on, put it back in my fridge, take it out the next day, and it's nice and fresh. So this is my beer of choice these days. It's Miller Lite. But, you know, I really haven't been drinking like the way I would, I guess, what I'm notorious for. It's just for me, you know, it loses, excuse me. Bo was NFL until hip injury until 1991. Thank you, Mr. Yankee. Those aluminum cans make the Miller smooth. Yeah, these in particular are the best to me. I love these. Now, unfortunately, because of Trump's tariffs down here, you would get a case of 15. I'm sorry, yeah, a case of 15 for like $18 because of the tariffs and the cost of aluminum now because of his fuck shit. These cases are like $21 now. It's the German coming out in you. A little bit. You know what it is? As the channel gets bigger, I'm having to pay attention to more and more people. Excuse me. Oh, man. So I'm trying to keep up with everybody. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm a little overwhelmed. But thank you, all of you, for the distraction. I really appreciate the distraction, guys. It means a lot to me. You know, dealing with some of the things that I've had to deal with, especially those, for example, Penny knows me from my political days. Obviously, I am not the same guy that I was. There's no unhinged bullshit. There's no table flipping. There's none of that stuff, man. There's no out of the way live streams. You know, this is me. This is the zone I like to be in. Talking about hats, jerseys, sports, sneakers, toys, beer. You know what I mean? Well, this is not exactly a collectible, but, you know, all that other shit is just a waste of time, man. But there are just some fucking people out there that are like, I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'm having a good time, folks. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. What time is it now? Oh, 20 after 11 already. Oh, my goodness. It feels like I just started. Okay, I'm going to grab one more. I will be turning. I'm going to get this thing out of the way because I have a feeling I'm going to step on it. And by the way, again, thank you to my eBay customers and anybody that's been donating to the channel. Shameless eBay. Once again, subscribe. Check out my eBay store and my coffee link. If you want to donate to the channel, click on the coffee link. And also thank you to my eBay customers. If you had any outstanding orders with me, they're out the door already. I think there's one that I haven't printed out yet that I have to check. I'm almost positive. But there you go, folks. I've already showed the tray with all the fruits that the kids loved. It's just, unfortunately, you know, with what happened today with this young person that I think was either a runaway or a toss-out. Thank you, Pineville PD, for really, really being gentle with this kid. He didn't get handcuffed or anything. I think it was just something in the family that happened with this young person. I don't like to see young people go to jail for no reason. But this police officer, he handled things with kid gloves today. And I'm glad the result was in a positive, folks. So, let me put this over here. Right. Okay. Oh, ouch. Thank you, everybody. Like I said, I really appreciate it. And that's the thing. Like these people, you know, I'll elaborate on this a little bit. You know, there's someone watching right now who's been a very good friend of me for many, many years, and he himself has been through this and is still going through this kind of shit. Though in a way, health wise, he has it a lot worse than I do. And these people don't know what it's like to really fucking go through the meat grinder. And, you know, I'm not going to lie. I was an arrogant son of a bitch for a very long time. I have it sitting right here as a reminder to myself. This is my New York City Parks Department card from when I was homeless. I got nothing to hide. When you go through this because everybody's turned their back on you and spit on you because they accused you of doing things you never did, or they're trying to protect their own interest, like the 501st faggot scumbag assholes that are out there that take the tips of their lightsabers and you know 69 each other with that because they duct tape their peepees to the side of their legs because they turned Star Wars from something that was enjoyable into a fucking political movement. And they want to throw a guy like me under the bus who really cared about seeing kids with cancer, who cared enough to see kids with, you know, with all sorts of medical conditions. That's why I joined. Because even then I was appreciative of the little things. But then, of course, like my ex-girlfriend, Maritza Para. We'll talk about her for a little bit. The only reason why you go there is so you stare at women's asses. Bullshit. I'm there to help to raise money for charity. But meanwhile, a 50-year-old woman is allowed to live with mommy and daddy because her mommy and daddy can't read, speak, or write English. And her little homo brother who thinks he's a world-famous DJ. Have you ever heard the name Andrew Para out there? I looked around and I compared him to Michael Jackson and Prince and even fucking Metallica or Korn. I don't see his name popping up. Do you? Of course not. Meanwhile, the young boy couldn't even clean up the dog shit outside in the backyard where my kids used to play, and I would clean it up myself. And of course, they would fucking confront me and get angry. I guess people like that, from where they come from, I guess they're used to swimming in their own shit. That's why they come here illegally. And despite society's penchant for erasing people, I chose not to be erased. Yeah, everything's about mommy and daddy, mommy and daddy. I always imagine in my brain that the mother of my children is on the human centipede conga line where she's fucking her little brother in her ass. You know? And then the father is fucking her in the ass. And the mom is like a random lesbian. This is an interesting question. Who is your favorite comic book superhero that you relate with the most? Not just your favorite, but one you relate. Huh. Wow, that's a tough one. I almost want to say V for Vendetta because he was a nobody. And you won't ever hear me claim that I'm somebody huge. I'm nobody. I'm nobody. I don't come from a background where there's tons of money. I feel like there are times where, like, you have to fucking fight back and you have to stand up. And when you are put in a position where you just want to live your life and then you have all these forces operating against you, eventually you have to fucking fight back. Like the Crow. That was one of my childhood heroes back in the 90s. The Brandon Lee Crow. Not the bullshit, fucking Hollywood, drug addict bullshit. We're talking about a man that was in love with his woman, that lived in a shithole, and because they spoke up, they were murdered for no reason. And then, of course, if you understand the mythology of the story, he rose up to inflict revenge upon those that wronged him and his girlfriend. Eric Draven, of course, was the name of the character. Brandon Lee played that role immaculately. But I love people with redemption arcs, like The Punisher, V for Vendetta, The Crow. Like characters like that, I really appreciate. Yeah, Alan Moore was an amazing comic book writer. What the hell did they do to that franchise? Oh, The Crow? The Crow is completely fucked. After the second movie was a little spooky, but I'm looking at the second iteration of The Punisher, not the first one, but the second one with that dude that was what's his name? He was in Star Wars and then died. He was also in G.I. Joe, as a matter of fact. I forget what the name of the actor is. That Punisher, he's living with all this fucking pain and suffering and hurting because of things that were not his fault. Things were taken from him. And then he decided to go off on a fucking quest for revenge. Well, I think it was War... The Punisher War something. I can't remember. It's one of my favorite comic book movies. If there are comic book movies I do watch, it's definitely the original Crow. It's definitely, and I'm talking about the Brandon Lee Crow. I definitely love that version of the Punisher. Not the first one, but the second one. All right. Characters like that who have at least trying to redeem themselves. Like, The Fugitive. If you've ever watched The Fugitive, not the 60s TV show, the black and white one, which my dad was a huge fan of, but the one with Harrison Ford that was in it. He didn't kill his wife. He was framed. He was set up. And there was a redemption arc behind that with Tommy Lee Jones. Movies like that where people are fucked over. Punisher Warzone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Yes, Punisher Warzone. That version of the Punisher I relate to, because there are times in back of my brain, you kind of envision things and see things. I'm not encouraging anyone to do anything because I know somebody will fucking twist my words out of whack. But stories like that, yeah, Punisher Warzone. Mr. Yankee just sent me that message there. Yeah, Punisher Warzone is one of my favorite redemption arcs. I don't really, I hate to say it, I really don't relate to Batman, because Batman is a character of vengeance, but it's not quite the same. Even though, the one with, what's his face? I love The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises and all that kind of stuff, but that Batman, that version of Batman, it doesn't make... I mean, yeah, Bruce Wayne, his family was killed. Excuse me. But it doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't, it just feels like he's... I don't want to say, what am I trying to get at here? Pardon me. These other characters had nothing. And Bruce Wayne and Batman has all this money, whereas Eric Draven was just a rock and roll guy playing music in bars. You know what I mean? Like the Punisher came from nothing. You know what's a good example of that? Law Abiding Citizen. That's a good fucking movie. Law Abiding Citizen. That's a great movie. The perfect example of the type of character I like. With Gerard Butler. Great story, great character arc. I love movies where, like, even Shawshank Redemption to a point is one of those movies where this dude is like digging out little fucking holes in his cell and dumping the dirt through the his pant leg just to escape. Things like that I like. Those types of stories I really like. So I'm not exactly, I don't want to say I'm a superhero guy. I like stories where people have been fucked over and they have no choice but to wipe the blood off their face, wipe the dust off their clothes, and go out there and fight for what's right. So, yeah, I like a good story. I'm not into the whole Star Wars, it, what, who pronoun, who's got a fucking septum ring, you know, who duct tapes their pee-pee to the side of their leg with gay space lesbians and all that stupid shit. I want a good story. I like a good story arc. I like stories that come full circle. Not every little detail needs to be analyzed. Sometimes your brain has to fill in the gaps. It's ridiculous. It really is. So, I like stories with a full circle. You start it off, get into it, why it happened, bring it to an end, finished. And that's it. I'm trying to think what else. So, V for Vendetta, great movie. The Crow, Law Abiding Citizen, the second Punisher Warzone, or War Dawn, whatever it's called. I'm trying to think what else is a good story. Rambo. What's up? You are a person who speaks with some sense. Hello from Tennessee. Well, hello from North Carolina. Don't let all this New York Mets stuff fool you. I am a former New Yorker. Been in the South here for 10 years. I couldn't ask for anything better. Welcome aboard. Thank you for joining. But yeah, Rambo is probably the ultimate. I'm not talking about Rambo 2 and I'm talking about the very first Rambo, which was based on an actual book. Though, of course, it's hyper exaggerated and all that kind of stuff, but he did nothing wrong. And you have fucking assholes that are out there, you know, like, what's his name? Teasel, I think his name is, or whatever shit, you know, starts bullying him and picking on him because, you know, well, we just come from a small little town, and it's fucked up that, you know, people just choose to see what they want to see and they hear what they want to hear. And after the fucking sheriff or whatever his name drops him off on the other side of the bridge, Rambo says, fuck you, you know? And what they did to him caused Rambo. Basically what I'm getting at, I like characters that become products of their environment. I love character arcs where they are a product of their own environment. And especially if it's not by their own choosing. I like it when the victim rises up out of the ashes and goes after these motherfuckers. That's what I'm getting at. Forgive my foul language, but those type of story arcs I've always been attracted to, because you watch some of these characters. Eric Draven, his wife or girlfriend at that time in the original Brandon Lee movie was S.A.'d, and because they spoke up against these people, they broke into these animals broke into their apartment, S.A.'d her, killed him, and then he rose from the dead to go back after them. That type of story arc I've always been attracted to. Always, where innocent people have to suffer the bullshit of the world around them. Victims, aren't we all? I'll never forget that line from The Crow. It's like Gerard Butler would say, I'm just getting warmed up. It's true. Well, the Spawn movie was a little ridiculous with, what was his name? Something Jamal White. I can't remember what the name of the actor is. I know he knows martial arts. I can't remember. Michael Jai White, is that his name? Correct me, folks, in the chat. I think it's Malcolm or Michael Jai White. I can't remember. I'm brain farting. But even that's a redemption arc too. Like, Spawn took one look at that and said, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not going to become your tool. Fuck you. And he had a redemption arc. I really hope they revisit that story. And Max, oh, that's right. The Michael, thank you very much. Yeah, okay, Michael Jai White. All right, I know I was close. So, yeah, I wish they would go back and revisit the Spawn story. I know, like, that original movie was like CG to the max, but I wish they would go back. Like, I used to watch the Max cartoon on MTV. I had some of the Max comic books. It's the same stuff. I love a redemption arc. I love when you push people's buttons for far too long. It's like, what's another good movie I'm thinking of? Rudy. There's another good story arc. Rudy, or Rudiger, the Penn State story, with the short guy that wanted to play Notre Dame football more than anything. And he went through everything. He showed more heart and soul than anybody, and they just kept putting him down. Coach wouldn't play him. Finally, the last game of the season, he finally puts Rudiger in there, does his thing. Story arcs and redemption arcs are what I like. People should be given a fucking chance and not judged on certain things. You guys are really getting to know me now at this point. This is where my mind sits at this point in my life. I like stories of people that aren't given a chance, that are fucked over, that don't receive any kind of care or sympathy or empathy, that are hurt, all that stuff. And when they are at that point where they can rise up and show what they're truly made of, that's why I love watching videos of big fat motherfuckers who pick on skinny kids in school. When the skinny kid does a drop kick on the fat fuck and the fat fuck falls over like a mountain slide, I'm there rooting for the little guy. I root for the little guy. And rightfully so. That's where I stand with a lot of this stuff. Rudy's the same story arc. Now you guys are really getting to know me. That's the kind of stuff I like and I enjoy. When things come full circle. I know it's going to sound a little weird. Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 3. And I'm talking about the Wrath of Khan and the Search for Spock. And if you don't understand those two, well, actually it kind of goes into Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home as well, but that's kind of like we don't talk about that one. But Spock was part of the original crew. I guess he wanted to not be a part of it anymore outside of the movies. So they came up with an arc where Spock died. Star Trek 3, you're dealing with the Klingons and all that kind of stuff, and Kirk, who lost his friend, wanted to go after Spock and went against all the odds, and basically they're telling him, don't go, it's off limits, blah, blah, blah. Kirk did it anyway and sacrificed his son at the same time while he went to go rescue his lifetime friend, which is kind of an odd choice, to be honest with you. So, and then eventually, with the whole mind meld from McCoy to resurrect Spock and all that kind of stuff, to put his karma or his Katra, I think you say it, back in his head. Stories like that I like. Watch out for the Tampa deputy sheriff's officer. There's one that's crooked as hell. Threw me in jail sitting in my truck. Said to me, "You're on drugs and dilated pupils." Well, isn't that the precious governor over there? Again, I'm a registered Republican. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'll disclose that publicly. I'm a registered Republican, but conservatism now has completely gone off the fucking rails. It's gone off the rails. I just want to read this out loud, if you don't mind. You're going around telling others that you're judge, jury, and executioner to tell me something, then throw me in jail for it. Well, I'm an example of this. I'm an example of it. And I actually had a website. Well, they should have taken it down by now. I messaged a news organization that had my mug shots, and I provided, and I've showed this on camera. There you go. There are the letters. No criminality. These are letters of my innocence. But yet certain people keep putting my mugshots out there because they want to control the narrative. I know what that's like. I understand what that's like to be falsely accused of shit. Believe me. He was never there on 9/11 and he was never a first responder. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, please, I hope this goes to court. I want this to go to court. This individual that posted that, Mr. Kevin Colborough, he's going to have a lot to answer for and prove that I am not what I say I am. Please do. I want that ugly, disgusting, burnt out fucking home that he has with a mud driveway in front of it. Maybe I'll actually lay some fucking concrete over it and plant some nice bushes and trees. I wonder if he paid his New York City taxes. Apparently he has a fucking huge tax bill. Maybe that's why he got issued that cease and desist letter. I'm not even going to start with that shit. I'm past that conversation now because I'm quite confident that if this fucker decides to push, goodbye, bitch. Fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. But again, ladies and gentlemen, I really, really appreciate you guys coming here and supporting the channel, supporting me, supporting each other. You know, it's not me just talking smack and talking BS here on YouTube. A lot of you have gone through a lot of things in your lives. You don't have to be nailed down in one point in your life. You're allowed to live your life. Unless you really are a PDF file, or you are a murderer, or you are a drug dealer, you have every right to move on. I have proof. More than enough proof at this point. But these fuckers keep persisting. And they're going to find out starting next week. Once I get certain paperwork together and I start submitting the paperwork I need to submit, and I have the signatures put into where they need to go, blah, 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 I'll haul their fucking asses into court faster than they can fucking blink their eyes. And I won't be the only one. There it is, you see? Nice try. Goodbye. You're one of them, aren't you? Or what other fucking channel or whatever other account have you created? No matter what you say, no matter what you do, you're not going to get the reaction out of me you think you're going to get. I am no dark side Phil. I am no the quartering. I am not Ricada Law. You're not going to get out of me what you think you're going to get out of me. The only thing you could do is take your faggot-loving little asses and create more fake accounts using fucking, I don't know what methods you use, whether it's like an AI email generator with fake phone numbers and all that bullshit. You're not going to get to me the way you think you are. I'm past my infancy at this point on social media. I know what you're looking for. You want me to, that's not happening. This is a different me you're dealing with. Nice try. I keep you know what's distracting me? I got the sanitizer over here. And it's just as tall as that beer bottle. So, okay, so now everything's normal. You know why? Whenever I do my live streams or I do my stuff off camera when I'm filling out eBay orders, I always have my drinks over here. Because usually my attention is over here. So I like to keep things off camera and, you know, where I can do this. I always give myself a little bit of breathing room. So little habit I do. But there's an example of it right there. What evidence do you have? When was I arrested for PDF, being a PDF file? When have I ever done anything inappropriate? When? What time? How? With who? Oh, there's nothing, right? Dick face? Of course not. Maybe you were raped by your father. I know a lot of you left-wing weirdos, you take out your past on people, is more than likely, especially if you're homo, faggot, it, what, who pronoun. The criminal, radical, fascist, socialist, leftist, communist, Marxist, hashtag #MeToo, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, anti-white, anti-family, anti-father, anti-Trump, anti-parent, anti-police, bed-bug, infested, crime-ridden regime of the COVID concentration camp, illegal immigrant refugee camp, pro-diddler, pro-pedophile, pro-Muslim, pro-anti-Israeli regime of New York, where you are anti-Semitic. I know all of you love to have a mouth to ass or ass to mouth human centipede of pedophilia, because that's what you guys do, especially during Pride Month, where all you disgusting ugly men dress in dresses and duct tape your wee to the side of your leg and all that kind of stuff. Give me a fucking break. Well, you know what you do like what I did today. I got proof for you. You can actually take control of that sort of thing. And don't let nobody try to fucking hold you down when it comes to that sort of thing. I'm going to give you an example of that. So right here, I don't know if those mug shots are still up. Again, those are my acquittal letters right there. Okay? I contacted WCCB. Where's that one piece of paper? Again, you have to forgive me, guys, because I'm trying to keep up with all of you. As the channel gets bigger, it's going to become harder and harder for me to keep up with all of you. But, all right, this is the World Trade Center stuff. World Trade Center, World Trade Center. Well, you said you were there on the day. Well, guess what? People make fucking mistakes, asshole. I like for these men, again, to tell me from second to second what it was like to come out of their mother's cooters when they were first born. What was it like to have, what did it feel like to have your mother's umbilical cord cut? I want to know in detail. You know why? It's a known fact that after a certain amount of time, people do tend to degrade their experiences or their memories of certain things. Not everybody's fucking perfect. But again, here's one of the organizations I wrote to. Again, we have removed your information from mugshots.zone, bustednewspaper.com, and associated Busted Newspaper Facebook page, if any. It generally takes several days for all search engines to remove their search results and images. You can do this, but if you're going to try to have something removed from the public record, be sure you can back it up. Which is why I've got these two letters from the public defender. You got to make sure you have stuff like this, because they're going to be like, well, what proof do you got? I sent this to them immediately. And that was the response I got. So this is just a beginning. So, but you have a right to live your life. Just because you were arrested doesn't mean you're guilty of a crime. No matter what people think. Oh, I can't wait to put my new fucking letterheads to work. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So I still haven't got a response from the TV station I wrote to. From WCCB Charlotte was the other email I wrote, which I have here. They are public pretenders. Mine didn't even try to stand by. They won't. I have learned at this age, unfortunately, to become the ultimate cynic. And the only thing that you can really do is depend, and I hate to say it, and it's awful because I've been through this. I'm still going through it now. You're gonna have to just disconnect from everyone and everything and defend yourself. Don't depend on people. Don't look for help. Don't do any of that stuff. Everything that I have done to this day, I've done on my own. It's awful. It leaves you angry. Oh, there's a lot of anger in me. But my anger has become my weapon, especially now at this age. Because my anger helps me to focus clairvoyance, and all that kind of stuff. It will help you to make better choices. You'll know when it's time. All right, I've gone too far. I've said too much. Back off. Back off. I don't want to be like these people. I don't want to be like this person. You'll learn to kind of like back off. Take your foot off the gas pedal. Think about things. Relax. Chill out. You'll find out. Like I did. And now people are removing my mugshots from their websites. And if with all the emails that I sent out already, if those mugshots don't come down, I'm going to have to pay somebody to do it for me. It's going to cost me like 200 and change. But I tell you what, to maintain my innocence with that paperwork that I got right there alone, anybody that tries to fucking defame my character, see you in court. All right, folks, listen. It's 2.5 hours already. Again, thank you everybody for really supporting myself and each other. Listen, man, you don't need people to fucking hold you down into one point in time. This is 2026. I'm here in the here and now. What happened is in the fucking past, but people won't let things go. You have every right to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. Don't let anybody bully you into fucking submission. Don't let anybody fucking best you. Live your life as you see fit. There are things I wish I had, I don't have. I, as a grown man that's almost 50 years old, I wish I can change things in my past. I can't. This is my life here and now. I can't go back and fix my past. I made my mistakes, but I'm not gonna allow somebody to fucking hold me down or hold me back. Most of the time, it's other people's bullshit. Because they don't like the baseball jerseys because they can't afford this shit. They don't like my sneakers because they can't afford this shit. Most of them can't afford $700 to $800 Star Trek models. Like this. They get fucking jealous. I've been in the middle of Citi Field holding a gigantic American flag. I've met politicians. I got photos of me with New York City politicians. Joseph Crowley, the predecessor to AOC, surprisingly, as a Democrat, helped expedite my Social Security case on my behalf. Sometimes you have to fucking fight when nobody else will fight for you. It sucks. And I will tell you from personal experience, folks, and I may get a little emotional with this, it's lonely. It gets very lonely. It becomes, it does get to me to such a point where, like, I almost feel like I don't want to burden people. And being here on social media, obviously, people are there picking my words apart and fucking nitpick. Oh, he said that, so it must mean that. And you know, you kind of have to accept that sort of thing, but it goes too far with people. I have every right to live my life the way I so choose, just like all of you. But for some of us, it's a lonely, depressing, sad journey. Even with me having my small business like I have, you're going to have people that fucking hate you anyway. You're still doing the right thing, but it's not good enough. It's lonely sometimes. It really is. I didn't think it would be like this with me. I'd never had anything like this happen before. You just have to if a problem is in front of your face, you have to figure it out. It is awful. It is lonely. I'm having a couple beers here. I haven't got drunk. I'm not drunk or anything like that. But you'll have people that say, oh, look, he's an alcoholic. Prove it. With 3 beers? Really? What evidence do you have? What proof? Do you have blood tests or urine tests? No, you don't. Human imagination is the worst aspect of humanity that anyone can fucking deal with. And unfortunately, because of our reactionary society, where people are guilty because they said so. Wrong. Wrong. That you're a fraud because we said so. Wrong. He was never there on 9/11. Please, with all this that I have, please fight my union. It is lonely sometimes. I've said that before in previous live streams. When I do my reviews, I talk with you guys and you gals out there. Part of the human condition is that there are times we are going to suffer. We're going to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I didn't ask for this. I didn't want this. But I took all of those negatives that I went through and all the shit that I'm dealing with right now. And I might end up in a fucking courtroom now because of what I showed you and what I've showed all of you in my past live streams. I didn't ask for that. It's going to have to happen. It's inevitable at this point. The only thing you can really do is just try your best to be the best you can be. I never thought I'd be running a business out of my home. I'm still doing it. I have renewed my paperwork for the next year. I've got great friends, great neighbors. My family have been watching what's been going on with these motherfuckers and keeping track of them. They have no idea what kind of eyes are watching them right now. I have every right to live my life. No one will ever change me because of the selfish, arrogant nature of human behavior. That's simple. All right, folks, I think I don't mean to sound like a PSA. It's just these are lessons, unfortunately, I've had to learn. Not my place to tell any of you what to do. Listen, I don't care who or what you are. I don't care about any of that stuff, man. Just try to be as good as you can be for yourself. You don't need to impress anybody. And that's pretty much it. Good night, everybody. I am your host, the Carolina Collector. Thank you all for your continued support of not just myself, but each other. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. Take care, everybody.